How's it going out there, YouTube? My name is Jesse and I am back for another comic book video. I know I've been gone for a while. When you have to move, everything gets thrown out of whack. And right now, I'm in a temporary filming location. But for this video, I am going to be doing the top 10 superheroes who have become other superheroes. Now, I'm not talking about a hero changing his name or changing his costume, because they are the same superhero in that case. What I am talking about is a total change in the hero. Now, people not coming on this list are like Iron Man, Hulk, and Thor, because even though they basically changed, they're the same superhero. So that might give you an idea of who's appearing on this list. So we're going to kick off with the first three names, number 10, 9, and 8. They were not superheroes when they first appeared in the comics, and I don't know if that was what their intentions were to be. But they are heroes now, and they've all had different forms throughout the years. So let's cover the first three. Coming in at number 10 is Rick Jones. Rick Jones first appeared in Incredible Hulk number 1 in 1962. He has had his hand at being a hero twice. First as the Captain America's partner Bucky, and most recently he was A-Bomb. He was Whisperer too, but that was more of a computer hacker than it was a hero. Coming in at number 9 is James Rhodes. James Rhodes first appeared in Iron Man 118 in 1979. When Tony Stark was incapacitated, he was Iron Man for a while, but he wasn't completely compatible with the Iron Man suit and had to stop using it. Later, he would end up becoming War Machine with a completely different arsenal and a different set of skills required for that. Coming in at number 8 is Carol Danvers. Carol Danvers first appeared in Marvel Superheroes number 13, 1968 with no powers. She would later develop them by accident, and she would become the superhero Miss Marvel. Her powers would be screwed around with by the Brood, and she would end up becoming Binary. Her powers again would be screwed with by the Brood again, and she would come back as Warbird, and she would later take the mantle as Captain Marvel, which she is still holding that title today. Now, coming in at number 7 and number 6, they both appeared as superheroes for the most part in their first appearance. Their first appearances were both in the same superheroes comic book series. These next two were also partners or sidekicks to the superhero in the comic book series they appeared in. They also both eventually became the superhero. And that superhero is also number 5 on this list. So let's go ahead and cover 7 and 6, and we'll get to number 5. Coming in at number 7, James Buchanan Barnes. Bucky Barnes first appeared in Captain America number 1 in 1941. His early career started him widely as Bucky. When he finally came back through some time alteration through Captain America's storyline, he would be the Winter Soldier, and after Captain America was dead, he would pick up a shield and be Captain America for a period of time. But he's back to being the Winter Soldier again. Coming in at number 6, Sam Wilson. Sam Wilson first appeared in Captain America number 117 in 1969. He started off as the Falcon and would later become Captain America, still widely as the Falcon, but radically changed in who he was and his duties. He's back to being the Falcon again, though. Coming in at number 5, Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers first appeared in Captain America number 1 in 1941. Captain America has assumed a number of identities when he stopped being the captain. First as Nomad, then as the Captain, and then later as Super Soldier. Even though Super Soldier and Captain were variations of Captain America, when he went as Nomad, that was widely different than any of the other identities he's assumed over the years. Now, coming in at number 4 on this list, he assumed 4 different superhero roles at the same time. Now, he didn't keep these roles for very long, just long enough to clear his name, but they were 4 different superheroes who spouted 4 different abilities, and these 4 identities were later claimed by other individuals, and they went on to make their own 12-part limited series afterwards, and 1 or 2 of these heroes are still in the comic books today. Coming in at number 4, Peter Parker. Peter Parker first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Fantasies number 15 in 1962. Freudian slip. As many times as he may have changed his costume, there was a time when he was 4 heroes at the same time. Prodigy, which he usually relied on just his strength and agility. Ricochet, which was mainly just his agility and spider sense. The Hornet, which he used tech, and Dusk, which was a costume that he got from the Negative Zone. Now, I didn't want to use any X-Men in this list because even though they may have changed their costumes and maybe have changed their names around, they're still the basic hero and they're still the basic powers. But this girl, who is an Omega level mutant already, has definitely had a radical shift in her powers over the years. So, let's go ahead and review number 3. Coming in at number 3, Jean Grey. Jean Grey first appeared in X-Men number 1, 1963. She was Marvel Girl for the longest time and would later adopt the identity of the Phoenix. She would go through a time where she was the Dark Phoenix and the Black Queen before she would ultimately take on the role of Phoenix, which was good. I think she's the Phoenix again. X-Men is very confusing if you don't keep up with it. Now, coming in at number 2, he started off as a circus performer and kind of a villain before he became a superhero and a long-standing member of the Avengers. Now, his other identities are radically changed from the one that he started with, and he is back at that again. So let's go ahead and cover number 2. Coming in at number 2, Clint Barton. Clint Barton first appeared in Tales of Suspense number 57 in 1964. Most people notably know him as Hawkeye, but for a while he was Goliath, especially through the Kree Skull War. After he was Goliath, he would go back to Hawkeye. For a while he was known as Ronin when he was trying to stay in hiding, and he is back to Hawkeye again. But he is proficient in many different types of weaponry. Now, coming in at number 1, he's had a lot of different changes over the years. Whether it has been the ability that he used one way and started using another way, whether he couldn't use that ability on himself anymore because his body couldn't handle it, whether he lost his mind and became a different superhero because he didn't know who he was, all the way to merging with a machine. I'm not even sure how he got the latest incarnation of what he is, and not sure if he's really a superhero or villain at the moment. But he has definitely had a severe case of identity crisis. Here's number 1. Now, when it comes to identity crisis, number 1, Henry Pym, is definitely on the top of that list. He first showed up as as Hank Pym in Tales to Astonish number 27, 1962. He would go on to become Ant-Man and then Giant Man, and then change his name to Goliath. He would have a mental break, and he would call himself Yellow Jacket, not remembering that he was Henry Pym. He, for a while, couldn't use his abilities on himself and became Dr. Pym's scientific adventurer. Would go back to being Yellow Jacket and would take on the identity of the Wasp after they thought that the Wasp had died. And then somehow he ended up fusing with Ultron, and now he's Ultron, and I have no idea what's going on with his story arc. Well, that's it for this list. I hope you like it. If you did, go ahead and get that like button to click. I know I've been gone for a while, but I'm back. I got a new list on the way. So until next time, I'll be seeing you.